We've created machines that can think for themselves. But what happens when they start making decisions we can't control? Is AI simply a tool, or are we on the verge of something far more dangerous? The world is changing faster than we ever imagined. Artificial intelligence is no longer a distant concept confined to the realm of science fiction. It's here, and it's growing more powerful every day. From self-driving cars to facial recognition, from digital assistants to predictive algorithms, AI is slowly but surely weaving itself into the fabric of our everyday lives. But here's the chilling part. AI is no longer just a passive tool that we use. It's becoming something that makes decisions for us. Decisions that are often out of our control and beyond our understanding. We've built machines that learn from us, that adapt to our needs, that predict what we want before we even know it ourselves. But with this incredible power comes a terrifying question. Have we crossed a moral line?
Who controls AI and who is controlled by it? For decades, we've been told that technology is neutral, that it's only as good or bad as the people who design it. But with AI, something new is happening. We're creating systems that don't just follow our commands, but that learn and evolve beyond our initial programming. These machines are now capable of making decisions that impact our lives in ways we can't predict or control. From recommending what we watch on TV to deciding who gets a loan or who gets hired, AI has quietly taken on a massive role in shaping our world.
But what happens when these systems, driven by cold, hard algorithms, start making moral decisions? Decisions that were once the domain of human conscience.
And what happens when those decisions contradict the values we hold dear as people of faith?
A silent shift in power. As AI grows more advanced, we are witnessing a silent shift in power, one that most people aren't even aware of. For centuries, humans have held the reins of power, guided by our beliefs, our values, and our faith. But now those reins are slowly being handed over to machines. AI doesn't have faith. It doesn't understand morality, ethics, or the nuances of human compassion. It only understands data, logic, and cold mathematical calculations. And yet, we are increasingly relying on these systems to make decisions that affect real human lives, decisions that should be guided by compassion, wisdom, and yes, by God.
Is it possible that we've unknowingly allowed AI to take the place of God in our decision-making? Think about it. In the past, when faced with moral dilemmas or major life decisions, we turned to our faith for guidance. We prayed. We sought wisdom in Scripture. We asked for divine help in navigating the complexities of life. But now we ask Google. We consult algorithms. We trust machines to know what's best for us. Are we slowly replacing the role of God in our lives with artificial intelligence? And if so, what does that mean for the future of our faith and for the world?
The moral dilemma. When AI decides who deserves mercy. Let's take a closer look at some of the ways AI is already making decisions that have moral implications, decisions that once required human empathy and judgment. In the criminal justice system, AI is now being used to predict the likelihood of someone committing a crime in the future. Based on complex algorithms and data analysis, these systems can recommend harsher sentences or even deny parole. But here's the scary part. What happens when a machine decides who deserves mercy and who doesn't?
AI doesn't understand forgiveness. It doesn't comprehend the human capacity for redemption or change. It only sees numbers, patterns, and probabilities. And yet we're allowing these systems to shape the fates of real people. People who, in the eyes of God, are capable of redemption and forgiveness. Have we crossed a moral line by handing over such decisions to machines?
The AI-God complex. The more powerful AI becomes, the more we're faced with a dangerous possibility that these machines will begin to act not just as tools, but as rulers, deciding who succeeds, who fails, and even who lives and who dies.
In some ways, AI is already playing God. It's determining who gets medical treatment and who doesn't, based on complex data models that prioritize efficiency over empathy. It's making financial decisions that can make or break entire industries. It's controlling the flow of information, shaping public opinion, and even deciding the outcomes of elections.
But here's the crucial question. Are we comfortable giving that much power to machines that don't have a soul? AI doesn't know love. It doesn't know faith. It doesn't understand the sacredness of human life. And yet, we've given it the power to make decisions that affect all of these things.
Throughout the Bible, we are warned time and time again about the dangers of idolatry, about the human tendency to place our trust in things that are not God. In ancient times, people worshipped idols made of wood and stone, believing that these lifeless objects could guide them, protect them, and provide for their needs. But today, are we worshipping a new kind of idol? One made not of wood or stone, but of silicon and data?
AI has become our modern-day golden calf. We trust it to solve our problems, to make our lives easier, to answer our questions and guide our decisions. But just like the idols of old, AI is ultimately powerless to give us what we truly need: salvation, grace, and eternal wisdom.
The Bible warns us not to place our faith in false idols, but in the one true God. So the question is, have we allowed AI to become an idol in our lives? And if so, what are the consequences of this misplaced trust?
As AI continues to grow in power, we must ask ourselves, are we building a future where we rely more on machines than on God? Are we allowing technology to dictate our lives, our morals, and our decisions, while forgetting that there are some things that only faith can answer?
The Bible teaches us that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, but where does AI fit into that equation? Can a machine understand the concept of reverence, humility, and divine wisdom?
If not, then what happens when we hand over the reins of our lives to AI? What are the moral, ethical, and spiritual consequences of trusting in a machine more than in our Creator? These are the questions we must grapple with as we continue to build and rely on AI. Because if we're not careful, we may find ourselves at the mercy of a system that doesn't understand the most important aspects of life, the aspects that only God can guide us through.
As we stand at the intersection of faith and technology, we must ask ourselves, are we creating something that will benefit humanity or something that will ultimately control us?
AI promises convenience, power, and knowledge, but at what cost? Have we crossed a line that separates human innovation from playing God? And if so, can we pull back before it's too late?
The choices we make today will shape the future of our world and our faith. But remember, no matter how advanced AI becomes, there is one thing it will never be able to replace: our connection to God.
The question is, will we remember that before it's too late? Chapter 5, Prophets or Programmers.
In ancient times, prophets were the ones who revealed God's will to the people. They spoke of future events, divine plans, and warnings that could alter the course of history. But today, in the age of artificial intelligence, could it be that modern-day prophets aren't standing on mountaintops but sitting behind computer screens?
For centuries, prophets have been seen as messengers of God, divinely inspired individuals who delivered warnings and revelations about the future. From Moses and Elijah to Isaiah and Daniel, these men and women were tasked with guiding humanity through turbulent times, helping people navigate the complexities of life and faith.
But in today's world, where technology reigns supreme and data is the new currency, a new kind of prophet has emerged: the AI programmer. These programmers, sitting in tech hubs and research labs across the globe, are creating machines that not only analyze the present, but predict the future. And their creations, artificial intelligence systems, are being hailed as the ultimate tools for shaping what lies ahead.
But here's the big question: are these programmers the new prophets of our time, or is something far more dangerous happening behind the scenes? The rise of the machine oracles.
In the past, people looked to prophets for guidance, for insight into the will of God. They sought comfort in knowing that divine wisdom was guiding their steps. But today, many are turning to a different kind of oracle, one built not by God, but by human hands.
AI has become the modern-day crystal ball. With its ability to process vast amounts of data, analyze patterns, and predict outcomes, it's being used to forecast everything from stock market trends to political elections. Some even believe that AI will soon be able to predict human behavior, telling us what we'll do before we even know it ourselves.
But here's the chilling part. Are these predictions really just data-driven insights? Or are we giving AI the power to shape the future rather than merely predicting it?
In ancient times, prophets spoke with divine authority, revealing God's plan for humanity. But today, AI programmers are creating machines that many believe hold the key to understanding and controlling the future. The world is looking to these machines for answers much like they once looked to the prophets, but instead of seeking divine wisdom, we're now relying on algorithms.
Is it possible that AI has become the new voice of prophecy in our world? And if so, what kind of future is it predicting?
Can AI predict or control the future? Here's where things get even more unsettling. While AI's predictive capabilities are impressive, there's a growing concern that these systems are not just predicting the future, but actively shaping it.
Think about it. AI doesn't just tell us what might happen. It influences our decisions, our behavior, and our worldview. From the ads we see online to the news stories that fill our feeds, AI is already deciding what we think is important, what we should focus on, and what we should believe.
Is this the new form of prophecy? One where machines, not God, guide our future? And if AI is actively shaping the world around us, then who are the ones programming these prophecies? Are today's programmers the new prophets wielding unprecedented power over the future of humanity? And more importantly, who are they serving? The ethical dilemma, whose will is being done? The role of a prophet was always clear. They were messengers of God, carrying out his will and delivering his warnings.
But in the case of AI, there's no divine authority guiding these machines. Instead, they're being programmed by fallible human beings, individuals with their own biases, agendas, and beliefs. So whose will is truly being done when AI predicts or creates the future?
Are these machines acting in the best interest of humanity, or are they serving the interests of the corporations, governments, and programmers behind them? And could it be that this modern form of prophecy is not about serving God, but about serving power?
In ancient times, false prophets were those who spoke not for God, but for their own gain. They led people astray with promises of prosperity, safety, and security, but in the end, their messages brought destruction. Are we seeing a similar pattern with AI? Are we trusting in systems that promise convenience and efficiency without realizing the cost to our souls? And if so, could these programmers be the new false prophets of our time?
False prophets in a digital age. The Bible is filled with warnings about false prophets, those who would deceive the people and lead them away from God.
In Matthew chapter 24, verse 24, Jesus himself warns, "For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect."
Could AI be the great sign and wonder of our time? A technological marvel that dazzles the world with its power and potential, but ultimately leads us away from the divine truth.
In a world where AI is increasingly being relied upon to make decisions, influence behavior, and predict the future, we must ask ourselves, are we trusting in a false prophet? And if so, what does that mean for our relationship with God?
Programming the future, a dangerous power. The power to predict the future has always been seen as a divine gift, one granted to prophets chosen by God. But now we've handed that power to programmers.
These individuals, many of whom don't believe in God or follow any faith, are creating systems that shape the future in ways we can't fully comprehend. But here's where it gets even more concerning. As AI grows more advanced, the line between prediction and control is starting to blur.
These machines aren't just forecasting events, they're shaping them. They're influencing elections, driving consumer behavior, and even determining which nations rise and fall on the global stage. Have we given AI too much power?
In the past, when people trusted false prophets, they were led into disaster. Will we face the same fate if we continue to place our trust in AI? And more importantly, how can we reclaim control of our future before it's too late?
The prophets we need: faith versus code. At the end of the day, the question is simple. Who do we trust to guide our future?
In ancient times, people turned to God's prophets for wisdom, guidance, and a vision of what lay ahead. Today, we are turning to AI, trusting in algorithms, data, and machines to tell us what the future holds.
But here's the truth. No matter how advanced AI becomes, it will never have the wisdom, compassion, or divine insight that comes from God. It may predict trends, but it cannot see the depths of the human soul. It may forecast events, but it cannot offer salvation.
So, as we stand on the edge of this new technological age, we must ask ourselves, are we following the right prophets? Are we placing our trust in machines or in the God who created us? The choice is ours, but the consequences may be greater than we realize.
Chapter 6. Signs in the Heavens, AI and Supernatural Parallels. For thousands of years, humans have looked to the heavens for signs, wondrous and terrifying visions that seem to offer a glimpse into the divine. But today, in the age of artificial intelligence, could the new signs in the heavens be coming not from the stars, but from our machines?
Throughout history, humanity has always been fascinated by signs in the sky, comets, eclipses, strange lights, and other phenomena that seem to carry divine meaning. In ancient times, people believed these signs were messages from the gods, warnings or blessings sent to guide them through life.
But in today's world, we're witnessing a different kind of sign, one that doesn't come from the stars, but from the complex algorithms and artificial intelligence systems we've created. And just like the mysterious signs of old, these technological marvels are leaving many people with a sense of awe and a sense of foreboding.
Could these modern signs, these breakthroughs in AI, be the fulfillment of ancient prophecies?
A new kind of beast in Revelation. The book of Revelation is filled with strange and mysterious visions, beasts rising from the sea, horns of power, and battles between good and evil. For centuries, scholars have debated what these symbols represent. Many believe they point to future events, times of trial, and the ultimate battle between divine and demonic forces.
But what if, hidden in these visions, there's a clue about the rise of AI? Revelation 13 speaks of a beast that rises from the earth, possessing power and authority over all nations. This beast can speak, it performs signs and wonders, and it demands allegiance from all people.
Many have interpreted this as a future world leader or a totalitarian government, but what if there's another possibility? What if the beast represents something more technological? Something that speaks, makes decisions, and controls nations through its power? Could this beast be artificial intelligence? Just think about it. AI systems are already being used to control economies, military systems, and even the flow of information. With each passing year, they grow more intelligent, more powerful, and more intertwined with the structures of our world. Could this be the beast Revelation warned us about? A system so powerful that it begins to control everything in its path. The image of the beast. Is AI the new idol? In Revelation 13 verse 15, we read about an image of the beast that comes to life. This image is given breath and begins to speak, even having the power to decide who lives and who dies. For centuries, this passage has puzzled readers. What could this mysterious image be?
But today, as we witness the rise of AI and the creation of lifelike robots and avatars, we must ask, could this image of the beast be a prophecy about artificial intelligence? AI systems, powered by vast amounts of data and advanced algorithms, are becoming more human-like every day. From realistic avatars to virtual assistants that mimic human speech and behavior, we are rapidly creating machines that blur the line between man and machine.
And just like the image described in Revelation, these AI systems are starting to take on roles that once belonged to humans, making decisions about life, death, and the future of society. Are we unknowingly creating a new kind of idol? Miracles and wonders. Can AI perform signs? In the ancient world, prophets and divine figures were often distinguished by their ability to perform miracles, acts that defied the natural order and demonstrated their connection to the divine. But in the age of AI, we're seeing machines perform their own kind of miracles.
Think about it. AI is already performing feats that would have been considered miraculous just a few decades ago. Machines that can diagnose diseases with pinpoint accuracy, algorithms that can predict natural disasters, and systems that can generate human-like art and speech. All of these are seen as wonders of the modern world.
But here's the question, are these signs of progress or warnings of something much more sinister? In the Bible, signs and wonders were often used to test people's faith, leading them to either trust in God or fall into deception. Could AI be the modern equivalent, drawing us into a false sense of security and power while leading us away from the true source of wisdom? A world of control, the mark of AI. One of the most chilling parts of Revelation is the passage about the mark of the beast, a mark that all people must receive in order to buy or sell. Without this mark, people are cut off from society, unable to participate in the economy or live their lives. For centuries, people have speculated about what this mark could be.
Some believe it's a physical mark or brand, while others think it's a metaphor for allegiance to a corrupt system. But today, as AI takes control of more and more aspects of our lives, we must consider another possibility. Could the mark of the beast be related to AI?
In the digital age, we are increasingly dependent on AI systems to access basic services, whether it's banking, healthcare, or even social media. Without access to these systems, people are effectively cut off from society, unable to participate in the modern economy. And here's the chilling part. AI systems are already making decisions about who gets access to what.
Algorithms determine who gets loans, who gets hired, and even who gets medical treatment. Are we moving toward a future where AI decides who can participate in society and who is left behind? Is this the modern equivalent of the mark of the beast?
The supernatural parallels. Have we seen this before? Throughout the Bible, we see stories of supernatural beings, angels, demons, and other spiritual entities that possess incredible power and influence over the physical world. These beings often serve as messengers or agents of divine will, intervening in human affairs for good or for ill.
But as AI grows more powerful, we're beginning to see eerie parallels between these supernatural entities and the machines we've created. Just like angels and demons, AI systems are invisible forces that influence our lives in ways we can't always see or understand. They process information, make decisions, and act on our behalf, often without our knowledge or consent.
Could AI be the modern-day equivalent of these supernatural forces? And if so, what role are these machines playing in the spiritual battle between good and evil? A warning from heaven? The signs in the heavens have always been seen as warnings, reminders that there is a higher power at work in the universe and that humanity must be careful not to overstep its bounds. In the same way, the rise of AI may be a sign that we are entering a new era, an era where the line between human and machine, between the natural and the supernatural, is becoming increasingly blurred.
But just as with the signs of old, we must be careful not to misinterpret what we're seeing. The Bible warns us that in the end times, there will be false signs and wonders, miracles that deceive even the faithful. So here's the question: are the advancements in AI part of these false signs?
And more importantly, how can we discern the truth in a world where machines are performing miracles and the line between reality and illusion is increasingly hard to see? The prophecy of the future, what comes next. As we continue to build and rely on AI, we must remember that the Bible has given us warnings about signs and wonders that will come in the last days. The rise of AI may not be a fulfillment of prophecy in the literal sense, but it certainly mirrors the themes of control, deception, and power that Revelation warns us about. The question we must all ask ourselves is this: are we seeing the future through the lens of technology or through the wisdom of God? And as AI continues to grow, will we place our trust in machines or in the God who created the universe? The choice is ours, but the consequences may be more profound than we realize. Stay tuned, because what comes next might just be the most important chapter of all.